Hello vinyl community, Mike from MyGuitarPlayer07 here, coming at you live with another vinyl record video. And then today, I want to show you some of the better things that I got in a recent collection I have acquired. Now this collection consisted of mainly cassettes and records. I did get a few CDs, but I'm just going to focus on the vinyl records for today. So let's just get to it. This is one I actually have already shared, but that's how long it's been since I've had these to make this. So U2's With or Without You 45, it's the only 45 I've got from this collection. So yeah, so there's that. And that's from the Joshua Tree album. Let's see. I got myself the Benny Goodman Story, which was fantastic. This is some classic jazz. And this has the original black Decca label that we all know and love. And then in jazz realm, I got Buddy DeFranco. This is another good jazz clarinet based, clearly from the cover. And what I like about this is it kind of reminded me of some of the music from the 80s TV show Cheers, if you're familiar. So if you like the music from that show, check that out. I got the soundtrack. It's a reissue of the soundtrack, but it's the Annie Get Your Gun soundtrack with Ethel Merman. Right? Merman? Yeah. Great soundtrack. Great. I'd love to be able to see that show one day. Great soundtrack. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that in one sentence. Alright, so we got those. I'm just going through the crate here because it's going to make my life easier here. We got the Beach Boys concert. This is from, I believe this is from the mid-60s. I can't remember offhand, but this has all the classics. Actually, that's not true. It has a lot of the classics. It has Fun, 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 The Little Old Lady from Pasadena, which I believe was originally Jan and Dean, Little Deuce Coupe, In My Room, a cover of the Monster Mash, which is pretty cool, a cover of Johnny B. Good, I Get Around, a lot of classic stuff, a lot of great Beach Boys stuff. Let's see. I got This Is Dean Martin by Dean Martin. This is one of his very first compilation albums that he ever created, and this consists of a bunch of singles. I believe there were only singles that were off of this album. As I said, I haven't done a lot of research on most of these, but yeah, this is a very good one. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I don't know a lot of Dean Martin, so I was very happy to acquire that. The next was the Best of Eddie Arnold. Eddie Arnold was a combination of a crooner, pop music, and country. My favorite song that Eddie Arnold ever did was Cattle Call, and that just so happens to be on this album. I have the album the studio album it came from, but Cattle Call is the last song on this album. There's not a single bad song on this album. I'm not too familiar with Eddie Arnold overall, but I've never been disappointed for the most part, to my knowledge. If I was, I can't remember. So, Bouquet of Roses, What's He Doing in My World, I Don't Really Want to Know, That's How Much I Love You, The Last Word in Lonesome Is Me, Anytime, Make the World Go Away, Till I Hold Your Heart, Till I Hold You in My Heart. No, I'll hold you in my heart till I can hold you in my arms. I can't read clearly. But yeah, there's that. Let's see. And some of these in this box you've already seen, so that's why I'm flipping through it. We got Frank Mills, The Music Box Dancer. I guess this is one of those cheesier albums from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. But me and my dad really like the song Music Box Dancer, and my dad's the one who introduced me to that song. And when I saw this in the collection, I was really excited because I thought it was really cool to have that song and hear the rest of the album. I didn't mind the rest of the album. However, the Music Box Dancer title track is most certainly the best on the album. Next, I got this Pitwick unofficial release by Johnny Cash, I Walk the Line. This has a handful of his hits. It has I Walk the Line, clearly. Cry, 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 Remember Me, I Forgot to Remember to Forget, Luther's Boogie, Ballad of Teenage Queen, just to name a few of them. Classic Johnny Cash. Most of that, at least. Let's see, what else do we have in here? As I said, some of these you've already seen, because it's been a while since I've put anything away onto my shelves. So we're looking at stuff from like January. You know how I had all those albums from like Arizona and all that stuff? Those are still in here. So we got the Oak Ridge Boys, their album Fancy Free. This features a song, Elvira, but really there's not a single bad song on this album. I'm not super familiar with the Oak Ridge Boys. However, I did truly enjoy that album quite a bit. Let's see, what else do I have in here? We got Peggy Lee, an album called Latin Ali, which is covers of Broadway tunes, but with an not African-American, Afro-Cuban beat, which is kind of cool. New adaptation of it. So, of the songs. So there's that. They had a copy of Pink Floyd's The Wall. I already had my grandfather's copy, but this is one of those few albums that I am okay with having multiple copies in my collection. Very few albums are like that. But this one's cool because, as you can see, it has a piece of paper that they had in the original shrink wrap to promote this album, saying, hey guys, this is Pink Floyd's The Wall. So I thought that was cool, so I'm going to keep this copy as well. Very nice copy. Let's see, what else is in here? Yes. Xanadu. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that soundtrack, but Xanadu. I got that. Yeah, that's everything that's in this crate. So those are the stuff I'm listening to and all that stuff that I'm ready to put away. Let's see if I have any right here. Yes, I haven't listened to this yet, but the Oak Ridge Boys have arrived. Supposedly that's very good. We have Lynn Anderson, It Makes You Happy. I'm not familiar with this. I'm only familiar with her album, or song really, but it came off of an album of the same name, Rose Garden. Then there was this Eddie Rabbitt album called Variations. I'm not familiar with any of the songs by name, but I'm sure it's good stuff. I've really never been disappointed by Eddie Rabbitt. We have another Eddie Arnold. This one is a double LP set, Changed to a Memory. Another Eddie Arnold, Turn the World Around. This is one I've listened to, but I'm not sure my thoughts on it, so I need to give it another shot. Give it another spin. We got Seattle by Perry Como, same situation as that previous Eddie Arnold album. There was a handful of albums that I'm not going to show, but are worth mentioning that they were there. There was a handful of cool Hawaiian albums, some of which I kept, some of which I'm going to be giving away as VCLT. Some of them were better than others, in my opinion. Maybe others will appreciate it more than me. There was also a handful of German music, which was really cool. And some oompa and like some polka stuff. A little bit of Spanish or Hispanic music. I don't know if it's Spanish or Hispanic. I don't know what area of the world it's from. And then actually, this one's worth noting. Let me pull this one out real quickly. This is an album that was really cool. I have one bin of records in my closet that consists of my 10-inch records, classical albums, and miscellaneous ones. And this is one of the miscellaneous ones. This one is an All in the Family album. This was a TV show, I believe, in the 70s. I don't really know too much about it. However, this was a cool album because it had a bunch of skits from the show. If you're easily offended, don't look up this show. It wasn't really right back in the day. However, it was more accepted back then. By today's standards, this is off limits completely. Coming from a person who appreciates a good joke, whether it's screwed up or not, I do like this album. There were a few things that I saw in here that I was like, I can't believe I just heard that. But, you know, it's from a TV show. I don't know if it's satire like South Park, but like, it's how the things were back then, and I don't think it's really meant to offend. At least I don't think. I don't know. I don't really know anything from the show or about the show other than what's on here, but there's some really funny things on here and some really effed up things on here. But I thought it was worth showing. So yeah. So that's some of the new acquisitions I've gotten from a collection. If you're interested in the cassettes, feel free to let me know. I plan on trying to do that if people are interested. there was a lot of cassettes, let me just tell you. Lots of good stuff, though. CDs, there was only like maybe 5, so it's really not worth showing. Or having a whole video on, I should say. But if you're interested, I will show you. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next Vinyl Record video. Keep on spinning that wax.